Live Theatre UK here at the Crazy Cox after the opening night of Amanda McBroom with the able assistance of Michele Brourman, who you did a great job last night.
Thank you, darling. I'm really glad you were there.
You've been to London a few times.
This is our
fourth time in a row at the Crazy Cox.
Why do you like coming here? What about the weather?
Can I ask you about the snow? We packed for cold, we packed for rain, we packed for spring and summer. We did not pack for snow.
It actually did snow twice.
It did,
yes,
it did.
But I thought it was great. You know, in Los Angeles we've had record-breaking heat. I mean, literally record. It was the hottest April 18th or something ever recorded. And I mean, it's supposed to be early spring, you know, so, and it was like 80, 85, 90 degrees. So we got here and I just went,
Thank you. A change.
Yeah.
She was born where the snow is. She was born in Pittsburgh. I was born in Southern California. Snow is an alien creature to me.
To you.
Oh, yes.
I get it.
Yes.
Now tell me, talking about aliens, if an alien walked in this beautiful cabaret room,
This is
right
the best
now,
room in London.
Yeah,
It really,
I think
really
so.
is.
If they walked in now, what would you describe yourself as?
Wow. Okay. Well, I am categorized as a cabaret diva. And, but what actually, it winds up that this is the only real world area of music where my particular form of songwriting, and our particular form of songwriting, we can't get into rock and roll. We couldn't get into rock and roll when we were in our 20s. We couldn't
well,
get
we
into
weren't rock and rollers.
We weren't rock and rollers. We tried, but we weren't. Not even when I was in spandex and a corset, I was not really a rock and roller.
Screaming, not good.
Not good. Yeah. So we were trying to find what area our particular kind of music would fit into, and it wound up that cabaret, because we're theatrical, because I started out as an actress, a musical comedy actress and Shakespearean actress and all that sort of stuff. But because what we write are little what I call them monologues.
Yes.
Our songs are little theatrical monologues.
Movies.
Cabaret would let us in.
Yeah.
And we don't do the traditional cabaret, which is Cole Porter, a little bit maybe, and Cole Porter, Gershwin, la la la. But we're allowed to do our music in this venue.
I was saying, I wrote about the performance last night, and I was saying that you're actually storytellers.
Yes.
We are.
Balladeers, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
Troubadours. Troubadours in the tradition.
If we only have love, we will never bow down. We'll be tall as the pines, neither heroes nor clowns. If we only have love, then we'll only be.
Well, we both started out. I
You
certainly
perform
did
too.
this. I do.
Oh, yes.
And I'm performing here a solo set Monday, May 9th.
Fantastic.
I started out, you know, as in the singer-songwriter thing, wanting to follow in the footsteps of Laura Nero and
Joni
Carly
Mitchell.
Simon and Joni Mitchell, and my timing was just that bit late. That wave was just going away as I was coming into that world. And, you know, it came within inches, but it never happened. So I was kind of like going, where is a world that I can fit into?
Yeah.
And this world of cabaret actually reached out to Amanda and me and pulled us in.
Exactly.
We didn't go looking for it. It kind of
Yeah.
embraced us.
So you write together, and you've been writing for years.
For years.
Yeah.
How do you pull in other artists? Because you've had songs recorded by
They
really
hear it.
famous people.
Well, that's one of the reasons we do cabaret, is so that people can hear what we do. I mean, we both have CDs. I have several CDs out. Michelle has a beautiful one out herself. But that way people can hear our material, because our material, Adele is not going to cut our stuff unless we're really, really fortunate. And
You
that
never
would,
know.
You never know, and that would be a wonderful thing. So our being able to be on YouTube, our being on CDs, other people who have a storytelling bent as well will hear our material.
So it's a way of almost promoting and marketing yourself as songwriters, but also
Exactly.
expressing yourself as
It
performers.
does.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. And we have to kind of get out and air these things. If we don't,
And see if they work or if they don't.
nobody will ever hear them. And even, first of all, I don't think we ever have written anything that was just deplorable.
No.
You know, I mean, they're
But
all
sometimes-
well crafted.
Sometimes ones that are good are just not good enough, though. Isn't that the case?
Well, at a certain point,
sometimes
yes.
you think
They're acceptable,
Yeah.
but they're not superior. Yeah, we've got a couple right now that we thought were really terrific, and then we realized, oh, we have to record.
So do you come back to them? Do you
No.
revisit
We
them?
haven't, but we might. There's a couple that I'd like to. The High Heel song.
You
I'd
didn't
like
get
to
that
come
in
back
now.
to.
No, but the thing is that you write them and they have an integrity. The song has a wholeness, and maybe there are things we can come back to and alter in some ways, but usually it's better to just put them in the filing cabinet and write the next one.
Yeah.
But the thing is also, you will find in any old song that was not acceptable, one line you can steal
Yes.
to build the next
Nothing
one.
like stealing from yourself.
No, absolutely.
I never realized you were this seriously crazed. But if that's what I gotta do to hold on to you, well, baby, I'm a flexible girl. I never took you for the type.
Song in my life, and I was on tour with a production of a wonderful show called Jacques Brel, and I had my guitar. I used to be a folk singer, and which is part of where the storytelling comes from. And one afternoon, my husband was off singing, and I was playing the guitar, and something happened, and he came home, and I said, I don't know what this is, and he said, oh my God, you just wrote a song. I said, I guess so, and he said, and it's really good. And that sort of started me off. It was sort of a little hobby, and I would only do. And Michele, when we met, encouraged me to perform, and then when the rose happened, that changed everything.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed.
That was my next question. When you actually had some song like The Rose recorded by Bette Midler and then followed up by that film,
Yeah.
that went hand in hand.
Well, they went hand in hand, and it's her fault that it happened. I had written.
You're to blame.
Yes, Michele is to blame. I had written the song a year or so, maybe two beforehand, and I was an amateur, right? It was just.
You never wrote them.
Well, okay, but I was not a professional songwriter.
You didn't consider yourself to be
No,
a
not at all,
professional.
not at
No,
all.
but she was always
Yeah.
at the top.
Yeah.
Always.
I don't doubt that.
But Michele called me up and she said, listen, there is this film being made and it's called The Rose, and you have a song called The Rose, and they're looking, rather than having hired a songwriter specifically for the film, they're looking for a whole bunch of different writers. Do you want me to submit your song? Because I'm going to submit songs of my own. And I said, sure. So I gave me a little cheesy old cassette of it, and she sent it along with hers, and with all these hundreds and hundreds of songs that were being considered. And Bette liked it, and it wound up being in the film, which totally changed my life forever.
And mine,
yes.
actually, is, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
It was, yeah. So, and then all of a sudden everybody kept saying, oh, you're a songwriter. And I kept saying, oh, no, I'm an actress. I just do that. And my husband finally said, listen, would you like to pay attention to what is paying the mortgage right now? Perhaps you should take responsibility for this gift that you seem to have been given. Yeah, own it. Oh, God. Because it's not the plan. I was going to be Liza Minnelli. I was going to be a Broadway musical star. I was not going to be a singer-songwriter. And then, how life will turn you left.
Look, it comes out practically every interview. That's showbiz, isn't it?
It is.
You head off doing that.
It's
you
life.
End up going
It's
somewhere.
life.
Yeah.
It's life.
You daddies and daughters, you sons and you mothers, remember life's over before it begins. So love one another and stand close together, as close.
ask, do you like travelling? Because this sort of performing means that you have to get out to people.
We love traveling
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
today
You should have been with us this
we
morning.
were going to go walk in the park and it was too cold, so we discovered we'd never been into Fortnum and Mason's.
Oh,
Oh my God!
did you go downstairs to the?
We haven't been to the
football?
food court
We went
yet.
upstairs
Oh, my
to the
Lord.
housewares. We were like
Gorgeous.
drooling on all the
Gorgeous.
cups and
I
plates.
said,
and
so many teacups, so little time.
Yes.
No.
So what's next for you guys?
Well, we're going to be going to, we teach also. We're going to teach a series of songwriter workshops.
In Telluride,
In Telluride, Colorado.
At what, 10,000 feet?
That'll be interesting.
Yes.
Oxygen tanks at the ready. And then we're going to do a big concert with this fabulous, are you familiar with Ann Hampton Calloway?
Of
Did you
course.
see her here last week and wasn't she glorious?
No, I missed her.
Oh, no.
I
She's the
wanted-
best.
I saw her last time she was here when she
She's
did Sierra Vaughan.
Yeah, I said, I believe she is now the greatest female jazz singer of our generation.
I
And
think
we're going to
so.
do a concert together, the three of us.
The joy in watching you last night, amongst many things, was that you clearly have a good time.
Oh, yes, we
You,
do.
and
We
you're
have a
relaxed with one another, and it's a joy. Come and see the show. You must if you have the
And see
opportunity.
Michelle.
Indeed, on the 9th.